Under the roar of surveillance drones cutting through the Mediterranean night, a flotilla of rickety boats sets out from the Libyan coast, each packed with desperate souls chasing hope. Before dawn breaks, Greek patrol ships cut through the waves. Tension crackles like static in the sea air. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight, we unravel the high-stakes struggle unfolding at the intersection of migration, security, and war. Greek authorities have launched a hardline crackdown on a new asylum route emerging from war-torn Libya, deploying military-grade technology, cutting-edge maritime assets, and razor-sharp intelligence operations to choke off the flow. This is no mere border dispute. This is a battlefield where human anguish collides with state power. For years, Libya has served as both a departure and a staging ground. The collapse of governance, rival militias, and endless conflict have turned its coast into a launching pad for migrant vessels. Smugglers, emboldened by chaos, have exploited gaps, but now, Greek and EU forces are deploying naval drones, thermal imaging radars, and autonomous sea drones to patrol these deadly corridors with unprecedented precision. Undernight operations use unmanned surface vessels USVs that can slip in close, relay real-time data to command centers in Athens, and even detect hidden compartments in smuggler boats. Intelligence agencies are fusing satellite imagery, signals intelligence, and drone feeds to predict launch timings. Greek frigates, outfitted with long-range sensors and unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, now shadow suspected migrant convoys far from territorial waters. On the front line, Hellenic Coast Guard units are intercepting vessels earlier than ever, tens of miles off their shores under preemptive mandates. As migrants huddle below deck, Greek teams deploy acoustic arrays to listen for engine signatures. Infrared scanners scan the decks. Every move is backed by rules of engagement designed to deter smugglers without triggering international backlash. But every high-tech measure carries a human cost. The sea is merciless. Lives hang in the balance at 3 a.m. In pitch black, a fishing-style boat overloaded with men, women, and children drifts toward a Greek patrol zone. The craft's engine sputters. Panic spreads. The patrol launches a drone overhead. The thermal feed reveals movement beneath tarps. Greek command authorizes intercept. A rigid hull interceptor speedboat slices through the waves. Migrants gasp, some cry, some cling to each other. The patrol orders everyone on deck. The smell of salt, fear, and oil fills the night. On command screens, analysts flag red alerts. A small vessel launched hours ago from eastern Libya should be in deep open water, but it's veered north ahead of schedule. The composite intel suggests an altered route, narrower than before, hugging maritime zones to evade radar. This is asymmetric adaptation. Smugglers evolving in real time, and Greek forces must counter swiftly. Meanwhile, the European Union backs the Greek posture, citing fortress diplomacy, to protect the integrity of the Schengen borders. Funding and technical support flow. Drones, radar buoys, and command nodes are shared. Greece is becoming a frontline proxy in the larger contest over migration in the Mediterranean. The message is clear. The asylum route from Libya is being squeezed by military means as much as political ones. As dawn tints the horizon pink, rescued migrants huddle on deck, wrapped in space blankets. Some weep, some stare blankly, some whisper prayers. Behind the scenes, Greek authorities process them, some sent back, some detained, others allowed hearings, and the tension between humanitarian obligation and national defense reflex hums behind every decision. Dawn's light reveals the silent skeleton of a drone hovering above. Its composite shell painted in naval gray, its cameras locked on migrant vessels below. On the shoreline command center, analysts hunch over layered maps projecting predicted trajectories. The surveillance network is vast. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we deepen our journey into the high-stakes chess game at sea. Greece's crackdown is not just about preventing arrivals. It's about cutting supply lines, discouraging smuggling syndicates, and projecting deterrence across the Mediterranean. And at its core lies the intersection of military technology, geopolitical posturing, and human desperation. Recent months saw a surge in departures from Libya's eastern harbors. Smugglers attempted a novel corridor sailing northeast, skirting Cypriot and Turkish patrol zones, then veering west toward Greek islands. The idea was to confuse detection, but Greek and EU forces adapted. They deployed tethered aerostats balloon drones with long-range radar coverage, paired with undersea acoustic sensors to triangulate engines beneath waves. Every vessel is tracked, every route is mapped, every deviation flagged. The Hellenic Navy's electronic warfare ships jam unauthorized comms when smugglers try to coordinate. Cyber intelligence units monitor encrypted chatter, sifting through linguistic codewords to pinpoint imminent launches. Field teams on nearby Greek-controlled islets launch vertical take-off drones that dive nearly undetected into smuggler clusters to observe and collect data. In one dramatic incident, Greek forces intercepted a large wooden dhow carrying over 200 souls. The dhow's engine was silent. It drifted into the zone waiting for nighttime cover. Greek acoustic arrays picked up faint vibrations under the hull. An unmanned underwater vehicle was launched to inspect the hull's underside. Smugglers inside panicked as overhead drones circled. Greek teams boarded, secured the vessel, and transferred passengers to a Greek frigate. The images were raw fear etched into young faces. Children vomit, stricken, a mother clutching a child. But this is war in all but name. Smugglers are weaponizing desperation, threatening self-harm if intercepted, sabotaging their boats, or purposely sinking vessels to spark rescue operations that force Greek hesitation. Greek rules of engagement now include denial operations, cutting engines, dewatering hulls, and towing vessels away from Greek zones. Some migrants are transferred in mid-sea to Greek vessels. Others are forcibly returned to Libya under bilateral enforcement pacts. International human rights groups have sounded alarms. Some call the Greek posture an overreach, accusing Athens of pushing asylum seekers back into chaos. Legal debates swirl over whether intercepts outside territorial waters violate non-refoulement, but Greek political leaders defend the posture with stark rhetoric, protecting borders, preserving order. Meanwhile, this confrontation is becoming a theater of influence in the larger Mediterranean geopolitics. Turkey, with its own migration leverage, watches closely. NGO and international agencies criticize. European courts may yet challenge individual cases. Yet Greece is staking its claim that advanced military technology, cyber, unmanned systems, electronic warfare must reinforce sovereignty when waves become murky fault lines in global migration. By late afternoon, Greek naval air wings are launching maritime patrol aircraft, equipped with synthetic aperture radar SAR and electro-optic sensors, continuously sweeping the sea lanes. Every detected vessel triggers a rapid response chain, drone surveillance, naval dispatch, boarding squads. The theater is 24/7. Back on the command floor, analysts notice a pattern. Smuggler convoys are now attempting micro-routes, smaller boats, staggered launches, short hops between zones. But Greece counters with faster interceptors, thermal nets, floating sensor grids, and a shared EU maritime intelligence framework. The message is being sent. Any asymmetric migration path may now face military-level interception. A chill wind stirs the sea surface. On screens across the command center, shifting heat signatures dance like ghost ships. Greek command issues order. Engage interceptors. Launch UAV over Sector Bravo 3. Cut comms. Board on visual. Welcome back to my channel. This is the final leg of our journey, where technology, war readiness, and human struggle collide most starkly. The Greek crackdown on Libya to Greece route has become a proxy battleground in the wider struggle over migration, sovereignty, and the limits of force. Recent data shows the migrant route has contracted dramatically. Departures have dropped, but the ones who still venture risk even greater peril. Smuggler routes grow more clandestine, in small vessels in tighter formations, night launches under blackout conditions. Encrypted coordination across desert networks in Libya. In response, Greek forces have sharpened their posture even further. They now deploy directed energy dazzlers, non-lethal laser systems, disable navigation lights on suspect vessels, deploy aerial jamming to scramble GPS signals on their hulls, forcing them to drift until intercept teams arrive. In one night operation, a convoy of 5 small boats attempted the eastern arc near Crete's patrol zone. The lead vessel was detected by synthetic aperture radar. A rapid response picked them up. Underwater sensors traced acoustic signatures. UAV locked visual. Greek surface vessels converged. As the boats attempted maneuvers, Greek teams jammed their radio links, cut GNSS signals, and disabled generator circuits using electromagnetic pulses (EMPs). Smart nets funneled the vessels into a trap. When the boarders arrived, smugglers surrendered. Migrants were stunned, crying, crawling onto the decks. In parallel, Greek cyber teams targeted smuggler infrastructure on land, disrupting encryption servers, intercepting financial flows, and targeting logistic supply arms in Libya. Smugglers find their networks degraded, their channels surveilled, many launch points shut down, many cancellation notices sent. The message is, the route is no longer free. The route is contested territory, yet in the control rooms, individual faces haunt the data streams. A young Syrian boy, eyes brimmed with fear. A mother cradling an infant, voice cracking. A migrant pleading, "Don't send me back." Every case triggered legal debates, moral fault lines. Greek operators argue they follow lawful protocols, interceptions in international waters under coordination with EU maritime law, screening procedures, status hearings, but some cases may wind their way to international courts. Geopolitically, the showdown has ripple effects. Italy and Spain warn of redirected flows to their shores. Turkey senses opportunity. Libya's fractured authorities weigh alliances. EU policymakers debate whether this enforcement posture falters empathy or reinforces order. Some see Greece as Europe's last line of defense. Others see the danger of militarizing Asylum. As night deepens again, the drones patrol, the satellites watch. Greek command issues a final order: maintain pressure. The route from Libya is no longer an unguarded highway. It is a narrow, monitored corridor under constant surveillance. The waters where lives once drifted now flow under the hum of electric engines, drones, and the stern will of a state defending its frontier. Behind the screens and ships lies a stark reminder. In the age of drones and war tech, migration is becoming part of modern conflict. And in this war of movement and control, Greek authorities are betting that technology, backed by resolve, will decide which waves survive and which drown in silence.